Do your opening.
Not the boss of me.
Ray, tell me to do his opening.
I'm not the boss.
Good luck with that.
Gary, tell Gary to get his shit done.
I'm not even the boss of me.
You're not getting any art until you do your opening.
No.
Hey, I don't like that idea. Do it.
Yeah, she wants her
I
fun.
Yeah.
want my Reign of Acorn shirt.
No, I'm not going to do it.
Well, he has to do the listing anyway.
Welcome to the Average Adventuring Party podcast, where we've reached a new high score of world leaders who hate us.
Yeah?
Yeah?
I mean,
I'm
We can
hated
still
by a
beat
lot,
it.
So.
I mean, you were already.
I mean-
now you're including the rest of us.
I showed the Sun Chaser Sovereignty my butt.
I mean,
They should thank me for that. It's a very nice butt.
Not
Yeah,
the
but that
first time.
forest witch was a whore.
yeah, most people pay extra for that.
I don't.
she killed a cabbage.
You keep blaming that on other people. And I didn't see any of these other guys messing with that cabbage.
Blame myself.
Yes, she did.
Just like you. Thank you.
I just want to bring back up the fact that Galdrien put himself on the line there. He risked his reputation saying that he slept with a slovenly woman and caught a venereal disease to try to save Shennarah and distract the Sunchaser Sovereignty from Suna, so stop busting his balls so much.
So, the rest of us will have wanted posters around the realm. Yours will have your face and say, "Caution, venereal disease."
There'll be a picture of his ass. And it won't be the first one.
Yeah, there's another village that has pictures of that ass.
Yes.
I would like to think Galdrien would have posed for that poster. Like, if you're going to do it, just
right.
do it right.
And the thing is, you see him, tossing the side eye look over.
He's got the finger on his lips, looking over his shoulder.
Are you okay over there?
No, I'm dying.
The more
Oh,
I think,
no, actually, we're not.
the more I think about it, the more that does seem like some shit that would go down in the Sunchaser Sovereignty. Speaking of, what happened last time, you guys?
So we fought this construct of death, and he was putting on a big show, and we were getting our shit pushed, but he was putting on a big show about it too. And then when he faked his whole, "Oh no, you have defeated me," and took out his scythe and was like, "Oh, time for you all to die," it didn't do anything. I mean, it hurt like the dickens, but it didn't actually kill any of
We're
us.
still alive.
At least not that we realized.
And now Death is very confused.
Yep.
And
He left us.
in a bubble.
Yeah.
We're in a bubble, right?
So, let's talk about that. As he gets up, he takes a couple steps away, goes back, grabs his stool, puts it up his sleeve, and then walks into the grass, muttering to himself. You guys slowly start feeling sensations like the wind blowing, seeing the grass moving, smelling things, and then time is moving normally for you again.
Right?
Well, that was trippy as fuck, but my plan worked. We're not dead.
Yay.
It was my plan.
Oh.
It was my plan.
Well, since it worked, it's mine.
Oh.
I was the one who
let me help
turned-
your ouch a little bit
Ow.
more.
Maybe you should take a recovery?
Yeah, probably.
Well,
Yeah, you guys are as beat up as you were just a second ago.
Oh, right.
Yeah, boys.
You are just not dead.
Let's take a breather.
Pat, pat, pat.
Right. Everyone, line up.
I'm fine. Thank you.
I'm not that bad.
All right. So
Shennarah, hun, how you doing?
I think I died,
Yeah.
but I got better.
all right. Let's see. We can just take a recovery out of combat.
Yes.
Okay.
So you can spend any number of recoveries, just do them one at a time.
That one's better.
11.
I guess I will since I am so squishy.
I'm down by one. I'm good.
I'll do one more.
16.
I like how my notes here are like, what the
Hey,
fuck? What the
I'm
fuck?
fully
You
healed.
can't kill us. What
Me
the fuck?
too.
Where was that one? Whenever
I'm down to half my recoveries, but I'm fully healed.
It's about time you guys finally use some recoveries.
I mean, we can sleep.
I only got 2 dailies left.
Well, we're still on a time limit.
I mean, we're always on a time limit.
Well, what time limit are we on now?
The entire caldera going.
Yeah, but it took them a little while. It's not something to happen overnight.
Yeah, it took us a couple days to fuck this up.
Oh, I
I
thought
can't
it was
remember.
like a week or 2.
A week?
Took us weeks.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I couldn't remember how long it took. I just know it escalated like fuck.
Well, more what I'm talking about is Mariana
Killing people?
is going around killing inheritors, and
Well, we got the compass, right?
yeah, but they've already gotten the boy, which we're not even going to unpack that yet.
Yeah,
but that
it
means
moves on
there's-
to somebody else.
Yeah, well, they've
Doesn't
probably
mean they've
captured the boy,
They've
which
gotten
means
silent.
which means that
Oh.
we have to deal with their shit. So that means that there's 2 more that we can find before she gets to him, potentially, which means time is of the essence.
No, there's 1 more. Talia's dead. They got the boy.
Inheritor moved on to the next one, so
Yeah.
there's 2 more.
We need to find a
Oh, we need the
replacement.
Talia's
Yeah.
replacement. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm not taking care of a baby. I'm putting that out there now. If it's a baby, I am not in charge.
If it's a teenager,
Forest
you're in
Witch
charge.
here, I'll kill it.
I don't like teenagers.
I don't like babies.
Shennarah is a teenager right now.
I don't
I
like
said
babies.
what I said.
She's your favorite.
Yeah.
I'm technically older than you.
Technically, yes.
Wait.
Don't try to think.
All right.
Yeah, don't.
Well,
So, crisis averted?
crisis.
Yay!
Yay?
Maybe.
Crisis may
Let's
be
see
averted.
what he says when he gets back. Maybe he'll figure out how to really take us out then.
Well, let's not stick around for
I mean, Shennarah, can you cross the road? Or do you end up back on the other side again?
Oh, yeah.
How about you try that?
She heads back into the grass and goes a ways, and then you just see her staff like jut up in the air over the grass.
Good to know. Come on back.
All right.
Bubble's gone.
Hey,
Since you guys are basically, 30 feet outside the gate, there's a number of very confused looking ghosts watching you.
Galdrien looks over to the spirits and says, "Hello, did any of you see that?"
One of them looks up, nods, gives you a thumbs up.
So you saw us not die? I mean, we're not dead, right?
Shakes its head no.
Right. Let's
Right.
go back into town and check in.
We don't
with-
want to wait and see what Death comes back with?
Oh, no.
No?
Let's go.
Okay.
He can find us later.
Okay.
Going back to
Are we
Ardith.
going back to Ardith?
Yes. Let's give her the great news
That we didn't die?
that we didn't die. That we are immortal. We cannot die.
Don't say
Yeah,
that.
let's not go that far.
You go back to the Hidden Rose and Badger. Ribari's Desire has basically kept it closed while you guys were there, and has opened it back up. So there's patrons. When you step in the door, she goes to greet you, sees that it's you, and then goes, "Oh."
We cannot die.
No, let me specify that. We did not die once so far.
A bunch of people just turn and look at you.
Adventurers, yay!
I suppose if you'd like, we can put that theory to the test.
No.
No, thank you.
No, thank you.
I'm a strict believer in the scientific method.
How about a drink?
We have
Yes.
been hurt before. I'm assuming it was just his weapon.
Sure. And she pours a couple of shots in little stone cups, sets them out on the bar. Shennarah walks over, grabs one, downs it.
I'd say you're a little young, but I do think you are actually the oldest person here right now. And Galdrien will take a shot and down it as well.
Shot, one shot, it's gone already.
Okay, cup. Ardith took the shot, pocketed the cup.
It's just a little cup.
So
Iocus is like so little.
Is it even a swallow for you?
Yeah.
Huh.
I mean,
I pity one.
like,
Like a sip?
yeah.
Yeah.
So what did we learn? Are you off the hook?
No.
don't know.
Nope, he's very confused.
That scythe of his, though, hurts like the dickens, but...
I would say they were very much on the hook. And then...
Yeah, no hole in my belly.
Consider yourselves lucky, then?
Right, so I think we can go ahead and proceed with our plan.
What time is it?
Well, let's see. We probably don't have enough time to make it anywhere.
Let's see. As I recall, it's probably getting towards nightfall.
Yeah, no way we're going anywhere.
Let's see, a couple hours there, 3 hours there. Yeah, we'll say it's probably dinner time. More or less.
Right. So we need to figure out which of the inheritors we're going to go after first. I think we should probably go after the boy. He's probably the one in the most danger.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but he's probably also the one that's harder to get to. Why don't we go after the new blue one?
You want to drag a baby with us?
Do we know it's
Do we
gonna
know
be
it's a baby?
Could be a distant relative of Talia's.
I mean, at the very least, we should
We
go
could hope.
see what it is first.
Also, when they tried to sacrifice Silent, the boy, last time, they managed to resurrect a red dragon.
So time might be of the essence with him.
Well, he's going to be highly guarded, though, so he's going to be harder to get to.
Yes, but red dragon. Let's not.
Yes, but what if he can't kill us, but other things can? And he's just waiting for us to die.
I mean, that'd be smart of him, but that's neither here nor there.
I'm more of the mind that if we can prevent a dragon from being brought into the world, then let's go for that. Plus, they needed 2 of the inheritors to resurrect that dragon last time. When we went to rescue Silent, I believe, last time around, what happened was we had Talia with us, and they were siphoning some sort of magical energy from both of them. I think it would take more time with just the one inheritor there.
And Martia.
But we don't know. No, she's not there with him. We already know that she's not.
Yeah, that's true.
According to the compass.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true. Okay. Well, then, so they can't do it with just one, so why not go see who the blue one is?
No, they might be able to do it with one, but it might take them more time.
Not necessarily, because they would have just done it with Martiana.
That's a fair point.
Why sacrifice your agent?
Yes, she's useful to them, beyond
That's
just
true.
being a conduit.
That's true.
So, I suggest that we go after Silent first.
And which way was yellow?
What element is Silent over?
Earth.
Air.
Earth.
Sorry.
Looking
Yeah,
at
you
the
don't-
compass.
I'm going off of stories.
Looking at the compass, what colors were there?
There are red, green, blue, and yellow.
So, assuming green or yellow being Earth, what are the 4 elements that are covered?
Fire, water, earth,
And wind.
and wind.
So, green is probably Earth.
And
Where
yellow...
was-
sorry.
which direction was green pointing?
From where you are, it was southwest.
Okay, but not far southwest.
It doesn't show distance.
Okay. Because I would nearly... 3 of the different directions are pointing south, southwest, south, southwest, or southwest, if that makes sense. I would nearly argue hitting one southwest and then cutting down to the south. Because the south might be way, way down there. The other 2 southwest are probably along this river.
I can tell you where the yellow one is. The yellow one is all the way down here.
It's beyond the bone wall.
Because that's where we knew her last time. She was on a mission there.
And that's where they mentioned where she was anyway.
Yes, and we've already received confirmation that, more or less, that she's down there. So,
And out of all of them, she can hold her own.
yeah, if any of them can handle themselves for any extended period of time, it would be her.
Okay.
Not
so,
that that's
so the
plan
green
A.
and the blue are the same way?
Green is to the southwest. Blue, I believe, was slightly...
Southwest.
Yeah, south-southwest.
Huh.
And since we don't know distance, we only have direction.
Then let's head to the southwest and hit whoever we come across first.
Yes, so I think I would suggest that we probably head along the
Lake and
the northern coast of the lake.
Could we hire a boat to take us down the river?
Would it be faster?
Y'all are
Generally,
familiar with this area. I would assume it'd be faster.
Well,
Do we need to hit up the stoat too? See if we can find Brave? If that's still the same here?
well, maybe we can find someone who's willing to be our transportation on the stoat.
As long as it's not the not entirely reliable teleporting again.
The very accurate teleport.
'Cause that was fun and not.
Right.
Oh, I kind of like to teleport. So, where are we going?
You got that map?
Yes, I do.
Pull out those
Yeah.
glowing stones. Maybe not right out in the open. We don't want to draw too much attention.
What?
Yeah.
You have just a map, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes,
Oh yeah, that's right.
Can I see it?
sure.
Shennarah lays the map down, puts her finger on Cardinal, and just kind of like measures by spreading her fingers out. I mean, I don't think we're going to make it anywhere tonight.
Oh, of course not.
No, we were thinking tomorrow in the morning.
Oh, yeah?
Where are we getting up and going?
I just, look, of all of us, I am the only one that's had any direct experience with that whole dark thing. And I really don't want to repeat that.
Yes, we're gonna eat and go to sleep.
Oh, good.
Good.
And no one's going off on their own this time.
Right? I will
Right,
sit on-
Shennarah?
That was a fluke.
I will sit on you.
That was a fluke.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
How, literally, of all...
You threw stuff at me.
I mean, literally, of all the possible events that could happen, how could I foresee an armored column marching up a mountain?
Thank God they showed up.
Speaking of, by the way, they did mention that you assaulted them.
Oh, she was probably heading out and they were heading in and, they got shirty.
No, I want to give her a cookie if she assaulted them. They're kind of jerks.
I mean, if by
I
assault...
killed him. Do I get cookies?
No. You killed them?
In my first life,
Oh. That doesn't count.
I killed... Why do you get cookies and I don't?
I attempted...
She's the favorite.
Obviously, I'm chopped liver over here.
I like
I'm
liver.
the cute fox.
She's the cute elf girl.
I didn't assault him so much as try to ignore him. And, when he grabbed my arm to spin me around, I may and or may not have attempted to chemically castrate him.
Good job, honey.
Can I have your cookie?
Hold on. And she reaches in a pouch and pulls out, we'll say, some kind of pressed granola thing.
That's not a cookie.
That's what I got.
What is Galdrien giving you?
A metaphorical cookie. He hasn't had cookies on him.
Then why did
do
you
you have
tell
any
her
cookies,
you were
Artie?
giving her a cookie?
No, I'm
I
not a
want
bakery.
cookie.
I'm sure you can find any number of lovely bakeries in town. Although some of them only cater to the sacrificial economy, I wouldn't actually eat what you get from those. They're just meant to be burnt as offerings.
Oh, that's right. All of these souls laid to rest.
Something like that.
Does that mean you need to make a stop at the cemetery?
Yeah, I did it in one life. May as well do it in this life.
That's because you're a soft heart.
Right. I'm going to stop at the cemetery real quick.
Oh, but he gets to go away on his own?
Say,
Who wants to come with me?
Who wants to come babysit?
I'll stay here.
not if I don't get any cookies.
I can
stay
go off
here.
on my own. I'll go off on my own.
I'll go with them.
All right.
Okay.
All right. It'll just be me and Iocus. You keep an eye on your sister.
Yes.
Hey, I'm the adult here. I don't need to be kept an eye on.
I've seen you as an adult. You needed to be kept an eye on.
I'm sorry, which of us spent an unspecified amount of time in the astral sea atoning for some universal mess-up?
Look, that we're trying to fix right now.
Point taken.
Well, see, I didn't have to fix it because I didn't do it. So that automatically puts
Keep-
me one step on the adulthood ladder above Galdrien.
But
All
you
right.
offered to come.
All right, Shennarah, I need you to keep an eye on Ardith for me.
I'm not going to do that. That bitch is crazy. She'll stab me.
Well, if you call her a
I am
bitch.
shocked.
Sisters.
Or she'll do that.
I am shocked and appalled.
Oh, she
And the
pulled
ruffle
on
of her
a
hair.
ball.
Can't be shocked and appalled if it's the truth.
Right.
Well, that means you've met me.
Iocus, you mind escorting me to the cemetery?
I'll escort you. Make sure nobody hurts our pretty little bard.
Yes,
Come
I'd
on.
like him back in one piece, thank you.
Oh, I can't promise that.
Yes, you can.
I can try. But you've seen how I roll.
Will you take any cookies for me that he has?
Sure.
I don't have any cookies.
I know.
So you guys head out to the cemetery. If you recall, Cardinal is shaped like a map cardinal, with its largest point pointing directly north. In one of the mid-cardinals, we'll say it's the northwest one, the whole section of the walled city is a cemetery. And it's blocked off by a gate, and there is effectively a stone book, an attendant, and a deposit box. And every now and then someone will walk up and put a coin in the box, and the attendant will make a mark in the book. You guys approach, and he holds up a hand and says, "To whom are you seeking?"
I would like to peruse the book and make some anonymous donations.
He steps aside and gestures to the book.
And Galdrien's going to look through the book, and he's going to see if he recognizes any of the names. First of all, looking through the more recently deceased.
No, nothing terribly familiar. Primarily, there's just first names and coinage amounts. Galdrien knows that these are people who have died in debt, and they are confined into this quarter of the city until their debts are paid. It's kind of a weird cycle because every year the debts go up due to the cemetery having to be maintained. So if nobody is actively paying off, they can balloon rather quickly.
Yay, interest.
Looking towards the... is there any sort of indexing or sorting in terms of higher debts or lower debts?
Not particularly.
Okay.
They're not really in any given order. It kind of looks like they were carved in as they were added.
So if I look for a particularly high debt, what do I...
We'll say there's a very old entry near the front of the book that is maybe 2,000 ounces of silver.
Ooh.
Cannot afford that one. Kind of looking through and gonna see then if there are instead multiple smaller ones then that have been there for a long time.
All of the oldest entries are at least a couple hundred silver apiece.
Okay, probably a little more manageable. Not by much though. Let's see.
The attendant steps up and says, "Can I help you find something, brother?"
Were there any particularly noble or noteworthy souls who died in debt and their loved ones are unable to pay for their rights?
He reaches in his pocket and pulls out this round stone that has finger holes in it, and he's got his fingers in the holes, and he waves it over the book. All of the entries disappear, and then new entries reappear. Some of them are fairly cheap. We'll say maybe like 50 silver apiece. Some of them are fairly expensive, a couple hundred silver. And he says, these are noteworthy individuals who I believe died sacrificing themselves for someone else.
And what's the total combined cost in silver for all of them?
For all of them, maybe 5,000 silver.
Oof, yeah, that's way more than we've got. Any chance I can get like 400 silver worth of them paid off?
Would you like to start from the top down or the bottom up?
Let's start with the top down.
Very well. And he asks for, he holds out a hand for the silver.
I'll go ahead and give him 400 silver out of the party.
Somewhere, somehow, the party knows
Yeah.
funds have been spent.
Galdrien's the
I
party.
knew where he was going.
Yeah.
The attendant walks over to the gate, waves that stone in front of it, and there are ghosts just milling behind it in various states and shades of transparency, color, decay. And when he waves that stone, they just kind of step back, and then a couple of them step forward, then a few more step forward. Let's say probably about 15 step forward overall. And he waves that rock again, and the gate opens, and they march out. And as they do, their appearance is somewhat restored. They no longer appear as dejected or uncared for as they did while they were in the cemetery. And then he waves that rock, and the stone closes, or the gate closes again. He puts the money in the deposit box. Says, "Their souls thank you. I am sure they will find a use in the city."
Well, hopefully that brings them some peace.
He gives you a slight bow, walks up to somebody else who's approaching with silver, and starts, addressing them.
Right. Well, I did what I came here to do.
And I'm sure the spirits thank you for that.
Well, I suppose we can go ahead and go back to the others and let's find ourselves. I suppose we could just stay at the inn.
Is it an inn or just a tap?
It's just a tavern.
Okay.
Yes.
Just making
We
sure.
need to find an inn.
Yeah.
Fine.
Shennarah says, "I'm going to go find food."
Wait a minute.
Do they have food here?
I'm tired of bar food,
I don't blame you at all.
quite frankly. I saw some stalls while you guys were pacing between
What are we doing? What are we not doing?
entries and exits. I'm gonna take a step outside.
We're going to take a step outside. So I'm keeping an eye on both of you.
Listen,
You tried to ditch us.
I did not try to ditch you.
You tried to ditch us.
No, I went for a walk.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
It's not every day that you simultaneously recall 2 separate lifetimes and 25 years of memories. I needed some air. Iocus snores.
He does.
But yet you bought spices and herbs and whatever. Why would you have done that?
Because it's what she does.
If she just needed some air?
Well, I was out and I learned how to make some new potions.
Uh-huh.
So I figured I could make some new potions.
Uh-huh.
I didn't hear you complaining when you were getting those potions.
Have you heard of shopping therapy?
Oh,
No.
If only.
I'm not sure what that is.
Imagine buying all the spices your heart could desire. Just because you could.
I mean, that would be kind of pointless, though.
No, shopping is never pointless.
Okay. I will take your word for it.
So are we doing the food thing?
We're going to do the food thing.
Did it involve a cookie?
We can see if we can find you a cookie.
Okay.
Would that make you happy?
I mean, maybe.
All I can see is a picture of chibi Suna holding a giant fucking cookie going.
Don't tip me.
Just a cookie larger than she is.
Yes.
At some point, we'll say, yeah, you do pass by a stall selling baked goods.
Actual baked goods?
Yeah, there's breads and pies.
I mean, non-sacrificial baked
yes,
goods?
like actual meant to be consumed by the living type baked goods. Shennarah walks over, looks at it, and says, I want something a little more. And she goes and finds a guy who's got, he's selling these wrapped paper, almost like the butcher paper.
Mm-hmm.
And she goes, oh, what's that? And he says, try it, you'll love it. And he just holds out a bite to her. She takes it, puts it in her mouth. I'll take 3.
What'd you find?
I don't know, but it is delicious.
What does it sort of taste like?
Chicken.
The guy holds out a piece for you to try, a piece for Suna to try as well.
Sure.
It appears to be some kind of meat that's braised and stuffed with, like, if you've ever seen like a pistachio paste or an almond paste, kind of like that.
Okay.
I'm not eating myself, am I? It's not fox, right?
No, it's goat, braised goat.
You know, I almost killed one.
Congratulations.
A big, huge one.
We weren't there to kill him. We were there to pick him up.
But I almost killed him.
Congratulations.
I could have killed him.
Okay, we're going to take 3 of those.
Okay. And Shennarah reaches in her purse, throws down some silver, picks her 3 up.
I'm going to give Suna hers. Hold my other 2. Now we got to find something for Iocus.
Oh. What do you think he would like?
Vegetables.
She turns to the person in the stall and says, is there a place I can get vegetables? He points down the road, and there's stalls just selling raw fruits and vegetables. She goes, oh, okay. And takes off at a sprint down that way.
Did we get anything for Galdrien?
I got one for Galdrien.
Okay. Make it sure, because maybe then he'll give me my cookie.
I thought we
If
were going
we
to
give
find you a
him
cookie.
food. Oh,
If you see a place selling cookies, we'll stop and get you a cookie.
okay.
And we'll get Shennarah one too.
Okay. Just don't understand why I don't get a cookie from Galdrien.
I didn't get a cookie from Galdrien
I don't
either.
remember wronging him in any way.
I didn't actually get a cookie from Galdrien.
It
Well,
was
why not?
It was an expression.
Why would you dangle a cookie in front
I'm
of someone
dangling a cookie,
and then
but
take it away?
I am dangling an actual physical cookie for you that we will buy on our way. Okay?
You're not you don't have one.
I'm telling you, I'm dangling you the
dangling
offer.
it too.
I'm dangling the offer of a cookie.
Shennarah comes back with a basket full of vegetables. Says, I don't appreciate the amount of dangling that's going on here.
I know, it's all teasing. All of it.
Okay, let's find a stall that actually sells cookies.
Oh, that one back there did. She points at pretty much the first one you passed that's selling baked goods.
Okay. Do you guys have a preference for your cookies?
I mean, I thought I was doing pretty good. I'll take any cookie.
Shennarah?
Oh, no. I got my eyes set on that goat.
Okay.
It's an acquired taste. You know, we didn't have things like that in the border towns, so I'm expanding my taste horizons.
Okay.
Plus, Iocus said I shouldn't be eating sweet stuff.
Iocus can shove it.
Um,
You've had a traumatic day.
Listen, I think the last time he shoved it, someone ended up with a broken neck. I'm good.
No, he dropped her.
Uh,
There was no shoving involved.
You three walk up to the stall, and they have some cookies. They are basically cinnamon and raisin cookies.
You picked the raisins out by any chance?
Yeah, we can do that. If you
Those are a delicacy where we come from.
are really determined, yeah.
I mean, I'll eat them, I guess.
At least they're not chocolate.
It's true.
Is chocolate bad for foxes?
Yes.
What does the fox say? Nothing. It's dead from eating chocolate.
I've never had this chocolate.
Okay, how much have we spent buying food and things?
Shannarah's picked up all the food so far, and it's
Okay.
probably like 2 cookies for a silver.
Okay.
That's a lot for me.
Hey,
Wow.
Look, cookie. I'm actually
know.
dangling a cookie.
I know. So, did I do good? I get a cookie now?
Yes, you get a cookie.
You tell Galdrien.
I will tell
Oh,
him
he
you were...
mispronounced his name. You can't have it now.
No cookie
Yes,
for you.
I would tell Galdrien you were good, you got a cookie.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay. I'm gonna happily take it and start eating it before
So-
my dinner.
And spitting out raisins.
And spitting
You
out
two
raisins.
guys get back to the hidden rose and badger, and the 3 girls are gone. Rorari's Desire says, I think they said something about dinner.
We're coming back.
Oh, that reminds me. If you would like to stay in my quarters, you can do so.
Can it fit us all?
There's a second room upstairs.
Okay, I was kind of preoccupied with a broken neck.
Don't
This time.
don't misunderstand me. I would like to keep eyes on you while you're in town. There are certain
Buy me a beer first.
individuals who tend to affect dreams,
Mm.
and I would prefer to be watching over you in case that were to happen.
Well, that sounds interesting. Is there any charm or talisman that you can help provide us so as we travel away from you, we can have our dreams protected?
No.
Oh, well, that's unfortunate.
Mostly, I just plan on slapping you awake if you start exhibiting a few side effects while sleeping.
Ah, does that mean you like to cuddle?
I do, but she holds up her hands. I think I need some time to get used to these to be an effective cuddler.
I'm not asking for a massage, just to cuddle.
We'll see. The 3 girls come back.
I was gonna say, I'm gonna come walking in
Suna,
and a big old smile on my face with the cookie right up to Galdrien.
you got a cookie in each hand.
Uh-huh.
She's double fisting the cookie.
Galdrien just reaches over and pats Suna on the head, and
Galdrien, if
we can stay here tonight, and it might be a good idea in case anything decides to mess with our dreams. Ardith has offered to allow us to stay here for the night.
That's kind of her.
She has a spare room. Well, it seems there are individuals in town, and I don't. It's been a while, so maybe you remember something to this effect. But apparently, there are people in Cardinal who possess the ability to affect dreams here, and in case we start exhibiting certain symptoms.
Point in case, I didn't say people.
Oh,
Mm.
so not people.
That doesn't narrow it down, but also... Yeah, this is a good idea. Also, here's dinner.
Oh.
And Suna was a very good girl.
Uh-huh.
Thanks to-
I was. Uh-huh.
I guess we got you some vegetables.
Oh, for me?
Yes, for you.
Yeah, you get to the bottom, and like the entire bottom layer is just sweet beets.
Oh, sweet beets. Y'all know just what I like. Sweet beets.
Here's all the raisins I spit out of my cookie.
raisins.
Episode 15, in which Iocus eats Suna's raisins.
Right. Well, I think it's a good idea, even if we all do have to share the one room.
Hey, Galdrien, if she won't cuddle, I'll take you up on that offer.
I've got my own
I think
sleeping
he's spoken
bag.
for.
Shennarah has finished her meal. Says, well, I have a couple of things to make, so I'm going to go upstairs.
Me too. I'm tired.
Suna, if she tries to go out the window, sit on her.
Like that's gonna do anything. Have you seen me?
Shennarah,
You make a lot of noise.
Yes.
I know it's hard to teach old cow new tricks, but can you show me a little bit about that potion brewing stuff?
Sure.
All right. I'd really like to learn at least the
Aw.
basics.
Okay.
So I'll follow her up and go play potion with her.
She starts explaining how it's not feasible for her to carry portable fire and fuel sources, so she's actually cribbed basically a powder and water heat source from one of the other guilds in the border towns. Ardith may and or may not have helped her acquire that formula. And so she starts explaining alchemical theory to you.
No, we didn't steal it. If anyone asked.
Depending on your actual level of interest, it's
Legitimate, like
it's very technical. What she's going into the magical properties of various things, and this is how it is. And
I'm going to slow her down with lots of questions, like really, really trying to pick it up at least a little bit.
And in the end, you and her together crush the appropriate amount of things, mix in the appropriate amount of pure water, and then she pours some of this powder in a waterproof bag, dumps some water in it, and you can see it start fizzling and bubbling, and then she drops the potions that she's made in there, and then closes the pouch, and then sets it, and then just stares at it. And it says, that's the important part. You have to stare at it just to make sure.
Iocus intently focusing.
Yeah. After a while, Rarari starts kicking people out and tells them that they're closing early. Once the last person's out, she says, well, I can't tell you how to live your lives, but I'm going to go upstairs and catch a quick nap before I have to stay up all night watching you.
Right. I'll stay awake just a little bit longer and keep an eye on everyone. I've got some writing to do.
I'll fall asleep cuddled to Shennarah, watching the potion.
Yeah.
Like the old days. Well, not the potion part, but...
Yeah, at some point, we'll say a couple of hours later, there's this little buzzing that occurs, and she jolts awake and reaches into one of her belt pouches, and there's this little gear-driven mechanical thing that's just going, and she takes it and resets the gears on it, and goes, I think that's about enough. And she flips open the pouch, and inside are 2 potions. And she shakes them up, puts them on her bandolier, just in case that whole death thing happens again.
What'd you make? What's it do?
This one resists whatever that energy was that he was attacking us with, and this one is sort of a, how do you want to say, well, it's like a shield.
Okay. Well, I'm proud of you. Very cool.
You know, I stole this one from her book, and sitting over in the corner is Rarari's Desire. You know, she's sitting cross-legged on the bed, just like head hung down. So, I don't know if it's going to work, but it seemed interesting.
We'll find out.
Yep. We'll find out tomorrow, though. She goes to sleep. What about the rest of you?
Are we making a giant cuddle pile in the second room?
I was gonna say I'm gonna get into the wall with my sleeping bag, sleeping already.
Yeah, at various points, if you wake up, Rarari's Desire is like wake up once and she's over there, and you wake up once and she's sitting at her desk writing something, and she watches you throughout the night.
None of us get slapped awake.
No.
Galdrien probably wakes up intermittently throughout the night and is like scribbling on some sheet music because he's got a whole opera that is now fiction because the world got reset and now he has to start rewriting it.
Yep, so you can reset all your recoveries and recharges and dailies and all that fun stuff.
Hit points.
Yeah. Except for Ardith. She can't regain that 1 hit point no matter what she does.
But her max hit points have raised by 1.
Her max hit points keep going up, but she can never rise above 1 current hit point. Theoretically, she's invincible. You wake up, and Rarari's Desire has set out a couple of bags for you guys, and is writing in her book. When you wake up, she closes the book, says, "Oh, well, you're awake."
Oh, you noticed that, huh?
You have very distinct patterns when you are asleep.
I don't
Nobody
snore,
got-
do I?
Oh, yes.
You snore so much.
We could all vouch for that, Iocus.
I'm sorry.
If you don't mind my asking, and I'm not kicking you out,
Sounds
but
like she's kicking us out.
where are you going today? Because the nearest anything is about 3 hours away at a good pace.
We're going to try to head for the floating stoat and perhaps find some transportation while we're there.
Oh.
I'm not...
Do you have silver?
Yes.
Good. You're going to need it.
Yes. We are.
Our goal is to find the Earth Inheritor first, because he's probably in the most direct danger, and I suspect he's going to be used to, in some sort of ritual, call it a hunch, but if they have him, as I suspect, then we probably don't have much time.
Didn't y'all use some type of teleport or scroll or something last time?
That's what we keep saying is unreliable.
After all this happened.
I wouldn't trust that sort of magic. Having your being disassembled by someone, it's not particularly pleasant.
Been there, done that.
I'd be worried that part of me wouldn't show up.
It might be a castrated bull.
Or a harmless bull.
Not the horns.
Or a hatless bull.
Well,
Not the hat.
I just bring it up because if you're going somewhere, you should probably get going.
She's kicking us out.
I
Right.
do have
I
to...
agree with her.
I have to start up the morning rounds, unless you want to stay and make breakfast with me.
I mean, I can cook.
Yes, but it'll offset your journey by a few hours.
Oh.
Well, RD, it was a pleasure meeting you. Never heard these guys say that, and I'm sorry about the whole neck thing, but it was nice. Appreciate all the help.
I've been through worse and enjoyed it.
You know, in my other life, Fossus literally tore his own heart out and gave it to me.
How interesting. He's not the giving sort.
No, he's still not.
Did you ask what he wanted in return?
Let's just say I learned my lesson then.
Oh, good.
No, he didn't. He says he did, but he would do the exact same thing all over again.
Well, some choices are worth making a second time.
No, Galdrien, as fucked as yesterday was, and as much as it hurt, you didn't have to make a deal with the devil.
Thank God.
That's
I
true.
feel like it was a good plan.
Yes.
Ish. A good-ish plan.
My plan.
Not to rain on
Yes.
your parade, but one could say that by acquiring my assistance, you did in fact make a deal with the devil.
Ish. Devil-ish. you're not your boss, right?
Last I checked.
Right.
Works for me.
Right. Well, we should go ahead and get going. I'll freshen up a little bit before we leave, if that's all right.
Oh, by all means. I'm going to start breakfast.
Right. And with that, Galdrien's going to go ahead and I assume that there's some sort of like washroom or something.
Yeah,
like that.
there's a basin with a pitcher of water.
Gonna
Gotta
pack my stuff up.
Gotta wash out all that hair.
I'm just packing my stuff up.
Packing up the stuff.
Yep, Shennarah does the same.
Iocus stands up because he has so much stuff.
Yeah.
Oh,
Iocus says,
That's
hold
it.
on, let me pack everything, and I'm done.
he picks up his stick. Okay.
Yep. Shennarah gets ready. As you pass by, Rarari's Desire is basically making a giant pot of oatmeal.
Can we have some to go?
Oh, it's not done.
Oh.
The bacon grease hasn't even melted yet.
Oh. Okay.
And as
Bye.
Galdrien finishes washing up, he's going to say, "Right, sorry the dragon mask didn't work. I thought that might help free you from the whole thing, but good luck with that."
Oh, I'm sure it's okay. We'll try again next time you're in town.
Right. Take care.
She turns around, keeps stirring the pot, adding some stuff, stirring, adding.
Right. We
The-
should.
The little imp walks over with something and she goes, "Oh, right, I forgot." And just grabs a handful of whatever he's carrying and tosses that in.
Right.
We should get one of those.
No. We should go ahead and start traveling now. I wonder if there's any carriages or anything we can hire on our way out of town.
Not particularly. Most of the carriages you see are like the one, what do you call them, the rickshaw type, where it's got the two poles and.
Well, if they grab that, I can pull it. We can rent one. Actually, yeah, let's do that.
We would have to buy one because we're taking it out of
Yeah,
town.
you'd have to buy it.
How much do they cost?
We'll say probably like 100 silver.
We're getting a little.
Yeah, we still gotta buy a boat.
Okay.
Maybe we could find a caravan to hitch a ride.
True. I'd be happy to carry you guys.
And as you guys are leaving the city, you actually see a couple of wagons passing by. They are drawn by gigantic spiders. Just giant tarantulas. And
Or in Creepifine.
sitting atop each of the wagons and walking beside them are these black-skinned elves. Almost all of them are bald, and almost all of them are wearing lower face coverings and goggles.
Uh-huh.
There is one who is riding on top of the lead spider, and they are just moseying along.
Had to be spiders.
It's the drow!
We know these.
You ran into him too.
Uh,
Suna?
Did we?
Yeah?
Oh,
Yeah. We ran to him again with you.
with me.
Yes.
so
Was I sick? I have a fever.
No.
Oh, they're gone on down the road now.
Oh, they're not going that fast.
They're moving pretty quickly.
we're calling after them like, well met. Galdrien's chasing after them.
One of the guys at the rear, he turns around and he's just got a crossbow slung over his back. He waves at you and pulls, the cloth off of his face. Says, "Well met, stranger. Is there something I can assist you with?"
Where do you happen to be traveling?
Oh, we're actually heading out into the plains. Going to make a stop by Lake Malebo first.
We happen to be headed in that direction. Might we accompany you? Safety in numbers and all that. And I happen to be a traveling bard in case you need any
Entertainment?
entertainment of sorts. But we are adventurers.
Oh, well, we're more than happy to have anybody walk along. do mind the spiders. They are temperamental.
Yes, I will stay way far back here.
They perhaps might be sensitive to certain frequencies. I will avoid the higher strings.
That's your prerogative, I suppose. And he's walking backwards and kind of keeping pace with the caravan, which is 2 wagons. And they are wagons piled high with just junk, clothes and weapons and books and just literally anything you can imagine. And he says, nobody's asked to accompany us thus far, but I don't see a reason why you couldn't.
What do you sell, friend Drow?
Oh, this and that, the other, that kind of thing. Is there something in particular you're looking for?
The other. What is that? I'm
Well,
interested in that.
You'd be surprised what people find in our carts.
Can I look as we walk? Or are we riding?
We're walking.
We're walking.
Yeah. Can I
Oh.
look as we walk?
Most assuredly, let me get one of the merchants to come assist you. And he gives this really, really high-pitched whistle, and one of the other drow turns around and jogs back to you and says, greetings, greetings. Is there something I can assist you with?
So,
Just wanted to look as we walked. If anything catches my eye.
Oh. How interesting. Let's see. What? And he starts walking along beside Suna. Just kind of stroking his chins. What would you find interesting? A being as unique as you are.
Not a spider, I could tell you that.
No. They're harmless.
Uh-huh.
She does like cookies.
Let's see. And he hops up onto one of the wagons and starts digging around in there. He's just like shuffle, starts moving things around. Puts one, he's kind of got like 1 foot on the axle housing, and then 1 foot, one knee braced on the side of the cart. He's like shuffling things around. Just, and then just spins so his butt's on the lip of the cart, and both feet are in there, and he starts digging. Just, picks something up, like looks at you. No. Drops it. Picks something else up. Holds it up, and it's we'll say it's some kind of book. He looks at you. No, and he just tosses it over his shoulder. Just, perhaps in the other cart. He hops off, jogs up to the other cart, and basically does the same thing. And after a while, he comes back and says, it's interesting. I don't think I have something that would be a fit for someone as unique as you. Tell me, was there something in particular you were looking for? Something from your childhood, perhaps, that you lost? Something you put down one day and never found again?
Like?
Oh, I don't know.
Because, yeah.
A favorite toy? A weapon that you learned to fight with?
I mean, I didn't lose it, I swear. It wasn't my fault.
Oh, it never is.
I didn't do it. It was there, and somebody took it. And one of those other little kids.
And what would that be?
It was my mother's knife that she gave me.
A knife, you say?
Yeah, it had a really pretty little jeweled little pocket that you put it in. It was really cool.
I have a fine collection of knives in here somewhere. Let me confer with one of my brothers. He goes and grabs one of the other drow, and they both hop up into the first cart. And they do pull out one of those classic like leather rolls, and when he slings it out, it's got 50 knives in there. And they start like picking up different ones, and he does have this one that's like hand carved. If you've ever seen zebra wood, where it's like green and blue and black, and he no finds one and it's just encrusted with jewels. Oh, most definitely not. Finds one that's clearly like a letter opener, like the long stilettos thing, and it's actively dripping blood. Oh, most assuredly not. And after a while, he comes back and says, I think this is an instance in which we could require your assistance. And he flips out that leather roll of all the knives and goes, "Do you perhaps see your mother's knife among..."
Do I see it?
No.
No.
"How about this one?" And the other drow brings a leather satchel over, just like a backpack, and then just tumps it out. And there's everything from, like cutlery to folding knives, lockback knives, small swords. Does anything seem familiar?
No.
They look at each other. One raises his eyebrow and the other cocks his head. And they look back at you and say, "Well, it was worth a shot, but I'm afraid I don't have anything for you. Sometimes things are not lost in the cracks. They're just waiting to be found."
Interesting. Ardith, do you want to take a look with me?
Sure.
Oh, by all means.
I mean, Arthur's watching this entire thing with delight, which is an odd expression on her face.
Galdrien has a theory that he's...
You guys have probably been walking for a while now. When you step up, the drow says, "Oh, a discerning musical man such as yourself. What pray tell might you be looking for?"
Oh, I do enjoy rare and unique musical instruments. I'm also a avid collector of swords.
Oh, well, let's see what we can find for you. And he hops up and at one point pulls out this musical instrument that's like a series of strings. So think like a lute, but there's 7 different necks sticking out of this body. And
That's woefully impractical.
he holds it
Love
up
it.
and goes, "No." And the other drow, picks up an easel and sort of frames Ardith in the empty spaces and just tosses it over his shoulder. Picks up a bag of pigment powder. Oh, I know. The very first brush you ever painted with. He reaches down to the bottom and pulls out just a splay of brushes and then looks at you.
Is it in there?
No.
I don't think so.
Galdrien, he pulls out several instruments of varying practicalities. We'll say at one point he just pulls out a set of bagpipes
That would do some damage.
and then says, "Wrong part of the world, I suppose," and just drops them in. When all this is going on, one of the other drow sees this and approaches Iocus and says, "Would you by chance be looking for anything?"
I seem to have misplaced a little black dragon statuette.
Oh, we have a series of fairly interesting maquettes and interesting statuettes. Just a moment. And he pulls out like a varying array, and every time he pulls one out, he holds it up to Iocus like, so he pulls out like fertility statues and like actual carved totems, like hand polished and carved stone statues, and a couple of them he just tosses back himself. And after a little while, this goes on probably half an hour or so between the three of you. They all step together in the middle of the wagons and start talking to each other. Then one of them goes up to the front near that spider and starts talking to the lady on the spider. And he gestures back at your group. The lady hands him a baton that she's kind of been using to tap the spiders left and right, and jumps off and comes walking back to you. She has just wild white hair everywhere and a set of goggles on, and when she pulls down her facial covering, she's got all these tattoos on her face. And she says, in all my time doing this, I've never met 4 individuals at once we couldn't appease. And Shennarah says, 5.
Yeah, don't forget her.
If you don't mind, may I examine you for a moment?
Well, normally I like to share dinner first, but
I like
by
to
all
be
means.
examined.
It will just require a small price, if you don't mind. And she pulls out a dagger, where the dagger, the hilt of it is actually a spider with all 8 legs facing forward. She goes, if you don't mind. And she taps the tip of it with her finger, holds it out to you.
Galdrien goes ahead and taps the tip with his finger.
And it cuts into your finger. And then she just reaches over and takes her thumb and puts it on your finger and starts smearing the blood. And just kind of softly chanting under her breath. And then after about a second or so, Galdrien starts to very faintly glow. And it's this kind of brilliant golden aura.
Not like the pillar of light.
Oh my
No.
gosh, this is another mask that you should have put on.
No, it's not.
And she goes, oh, well, everything's intact, it seems. As she says that, these spots start appearing, just kind of like fading in and out in this aura. And some are this sort of light blue with white specks. And one of them is just this angry red and purple. And she goes, oh, well, that explains it.
What do me next?
Do you mind?
Not at all.
She holds out the knife.
Dink.
Does the same thing to you.
Ow.
And you're...
It hurts.
It's a knife. It's supposed to.
Yeah, that's what they do.
She reaches over and starts chanting while holding onto your finger. And Iocus glows like a slightly forest green, I would think. And then it starts having these gold and orange patterns in it. And she goes, oh, much the same. I can test the rest of you, but I think my examinations will find that your souls are bound to others.
I'm bound to nobody. I don't even believe in... I know there's gods, but I don't believe in a god.
Well, it doesn't matter if you believe in them. The soul is separate.
Galdrien,
Yes.
do you remember when we visited our young friend long time ago, and our blue friend appeared and mentioned something about us being bound to things, when she tried to pull some bullshit?
Shennarah says, you've lost me, and I was there for some things.
You weren't there for this one.
Oh.
You'll have to be a little more specific than that. We've had a lot of blue friends.
Okay, you have a point there.
Aquio?
No, unfortunately not.
Darn. I miss Aquio.
I miss him too. He was nice.
Yeah. He was my friend more than yours.
I know, because he was attached to you.
I mean, yes.
He was a lantern archon who lived inside of you.
He was fucking adorable.
I mean,
So-
and I miss him.
Shennarah goes, he was a know-it-all.
I mean, yes, but so was your buddy.
Yeah, your water dude.
Listen. That's neither here nor there.
Don't you miss him?
Wait a minute. That reminds me of something that's been bothering me this whole time. How do you know alchemy now?
What do you mean?
Did you know alchemy when we first met? You learned alchemy from Dagmos while we were traveling together in our previous life.
Oh. Huh. No, I remember picking it up as a small child.
Do you think perhaps subconsciously we were influenced in that life in this life by that
Probably.
life? It
Don't-
gives me a headache.
Yeah,
Anyway,
don't think about it. Okay.
blue friend.
Remember we went to visit Mari a long, long time ago, and we ran into RD, and she tried to pull something because she thought it would be funny, or a friend of hers thought it would be funny, and they mentioned she tried to do something, but she mentioned we were bound by something.
I don't remember any of this.
Well, it was worth a try.
Shennarah says, "Hold on, that important thing.
Yes.
Do me," and holds out her finger. At which point the spider lady pokes her, starts chanting, and she begins to glow, this sort of soft tan. As she begins to glow, Galdrien, your aura likewise starts picking up these soft tan spots, and hers starts picking up golden spots. She goes, that was the thing.
What was the thing?
That was the thing. We were bound to each other so we would remember.
Because that's working so well.
You remember some of it, don't you?
Yeah?
Well, the alternative was remembering none of it.
Oh, joy. That again.
So, you, and she points at Galdrien, and you, she points at Suna, and you, she points at Ardith. We were all there at the end.
Mm-hmm.
That's what Bastia said, was that we had to be bound to something, or else we would just repeat it. So she bound us to each other, and some of the primal forces of the world. They had to find us anchors in the world.
So how did Iocus get part of this then?
I have no idea.
Oh, the great moo mystery.
Huh.
That drow starts examining Iocus. He goes, "This is different. Yours are parasitic in nature."
Well, that's not concerning at all. Wait. I mean, what the fuck?
I don't know. There's something drawing on you.
Lifts up his arms and looking around.
Should we just
Get it off! Get it off!
If you have some time, I would happily pay you for further examination of your persons.
So, we had to be bound to something? What do you suppose that something is?
Shennarah said each other, and then something else.
Primal forces. Well, you said something about getting paid for examination?
And we can ride.
No.
How much is some time?
I don't know. It's to be determined. Call it an indefinite agreement. I can, however, promise only the slightest amount of vivisection is involved.
Oh.
Right. Well, that's going to have to wait for another day, I suppose.
I'm not entirely against that.
You want to be cut open? Because I can do that for free.
Why do it for free when we can pay you for it?
Not that hard up yet.
No. Well,
For money. For money.
This is your own fault.
it is a unique situation that we find ourselves in, so I must apologize for not being able to accommodate you. And she points at the wagons. You're more than free to walk along with us if you feel the need to.
Right. Well, we're headed in that direction anyway. We're headed to the floating stoat to hopefully not lose all of our money.
Oh, the stoat.
We're actually hoping to meet someone there.
If y'all were unable to help us with what we were originally seeking, y'all wouldn't happen to have any tokens or chits for passage with the floating stoat lying around, would you?
Have you ever had one and misplaced it?
I don't know that I have, but somebody may have.
Somebody, perhaps, but I'm speaking of you particularly.
No.
Well,
They'll only sell you something that's yours.
unfortunately,
No.
our particular niche is much more involved.
Finding what you've lost. And they can't even do that right.
Partially. To be fair, not all of our customers have this. And she gestures to you. Most are in complete, if subconscious, control of their souls.
Speaking of things that are lost, that's actually what we're hoping to find at the Floating Stoat, is someone who belongs in Lost and may be themselves lost.
That would be most ironic if you did. But the city of Lost has a way of claiming those things that belong to it. I'm sure if your friend belongs there, he will find a way there.
So perhaps then we should just continue moving. Can I see the compass? Galdrien looks at the compass and he's going to look at what the positioning is of the green dot.
So the green dot has not moved.
So
The yellow dot may have moved slightly. The blue dot may have moved slightly. The red dot is now all the way to the east.
the red dot is all the way to the east.
Yes.
Yay, overlook. Or overreach.
Overlook.
Yeah.
Overlook,
So we are about right here, probably.
Yeah.
About. So we should continue going to the southwest. Then it looks like we are headed in the right direction.
Now, she says this soul parasite or whatever I have and the link that y'all have, that's twice today we've talked about souls. So we can safely assume that whatever this link that y'all have, we have, whatever it might be, is, probably is what wreaked havoc on old Scythe McScytherson back there.
Oh, you've come up against soul-draining magics?
Yes. Oh, yes.
Oh, well.
I don't know so much as soul draining, but he wanted our soul.
I suppose these anchors would provide you a modicum of protection against that sort of thing.
Huh.
But the downside is your souls are not completely your own.
Haven't been for a while.
I don't feel any different.
I mean,
This seems
this is news to me.
new.
Although, to be fair, I used to be far more calm and level-headed.
That was
So-
before you met me.
Don't know if they're related or not, but I do seem to have a little bit more problems controlling my impulsive urges around these guys.
Oh, speaking of impulsive urges, I suppose that is a no for the further examination.
Right, no vivisection.
Sometimes you have to break eggs and all of that. Why don't you let me just... And she reaches over and basically like the way she had smeared the blood on your finger, she just wipes it off with a cloth and you stop glowing.
Right. Well, let's continue in the direction of this green dot here. Let's see. Looking at the sun, what's the
We'll say it's probably mid-morning.
mid-morning? Okay. So, what do you say? Shall we continue to the Floating Stoat, or do you think we should just continue due southwest?
You know what? Y'all didn't have luck with the Stoat last time. We're not flush with funds. Let's go overland.
All right. So that's our plan then. Silent, hopefully we do a better job saving you than we did last time.
We did an okay job last time.
Yes, but last time a dragon got resurrected, and I'd like to avoid that this time if possible.
True.
So for probably the last, I don't know, a couple of minutes, you realize you've been hearing this sort of faint, it's almost like a whining sound. And as you keep moving along with these wagons, it slowly resolves itself into music. Very upbeat and high-pitched music. The closer you get to what is clearly a Mountaineer Guard outpost on the shores of the lake, you see a couple of ferries crossing, and there is just a gigantic boat, probably like half a mile if not more, just moored in the center of the lake. There is music, and you can see all kinds of stalls, all kinds of very carnival-type smells are wafting off of it. And you hear a lot of shouting and talking as the drow you're with pull to a stop a reasonable distance away from the Mountaineer Guard post, and start, kind of letting people approach them and start making deals. The lady hops back off the spider and says, "I don't want to seem pushy, but final offer? No takers? All right then. Well, can't blame a girl for trying." At which point she says, "We're going that way, I think," and points to the west. "I wish you the best on your travels. And I apologize again for not being able to accommodate you."
Got to see some very cool and creepy looking mounts.
Oh, they're great friends. Reliable.
I wouldn't really say cool.
And we appreciate the company.
Oh, most assuredly. And she gives you a bow and then starts, as a guy walks by, she just hooks his arm and starts directing him to one of the carts. And I think where we'll leave off tonight is all of you standing outside this guard post. We'll say it's on the left, and it's a couple of buildings like you've seen, very squat, short buildings. There's Mountaineer Guard up on top, and then there's a dock and basically like a ferry going to the stoat in the middle of the lake, and one simultaneously coming back. There's a big marquee that says rides, 2 gold chits. And then there's another big marquee next to a series of stalls that are advertising gold chits for the floating stoat. And
You gotta buy tokens.
yep, most of them are 5 ounces of silver per gold chit.
Well, they're full of chits.
And that's where we'll leave off. So, we're technically at the end of the session. For everyone listening at home, we usually do about 3 episodes per session. So these guys aren't getting an incremental advance at the end of every episode, but usually every 2 to 3 episodes. So, do you guys have an idea of what you're going to take?
Probably gonna do a feat.
Okay.
Not locked in on that, but
Okay.
I'll have to look it up.
Well, as long as we decide before the next session, I'm good with it.
Yeah.
I'm going to do a feat.
I'm going to take your third foot.
3rd foot.
All right. Ardith?
I don't know yet.
It's fair. What's Suna going to take?
I don't know if I'm going to take hit points or a spell.
Spells are nice.
Yes.
Not dying.
So-
Also nice.
Not being squishy.
So, the big thing that's going to give you is a spell slot that operates at 3rd level,
Oh, that is a big thing.
as opposed to a spell slot that operates at 1st level. And then once you actually hit 3rd level, all of your spell slots will activate as though you were 3rd level.
Do you want one really big kick-ass spell, comparatively, or not being as squishy?
And you don't have to decide right now. Just
The
Yeah.
thought process.
just a thought process. Getting that little bug in your ear for next time. Right? So I think that's all I've got. Anybody else got anything?
We didn't die.
Hey, you didn't die.
Yeah. We got better.
You have certainly not gotten worse. Which,
And I only fell asleep once during this session, so that's a win.
listen, dear listeners, you've heard it here first. Our players are so stressed out over the lack of funding that look, for 49 cents a day, you can sponsor one Michael. You can
Please, I need some more. 49 cents a day and I'll finally be able to sleep again.
No, and in all honesty, I mean, that is a pretty good segue for us. We actually had a pretty good discussion tonight before the game. This is, session 5? In the middle of November somewhere? At the beginning of November somewhere? I promise I know dates and times.
What are days?
We had a pretty good discussion about the type of content we'd like to do, funding provided. And, we have a provisional website right now. We have some thoughts on that. But we really do need to start, sort of making up the difference with our patrons, with donations, with all that fun stuff. Just to help us do bigger and better things. So,
if you like what you hear, toss money to Daddy. I'm sorry, wrong channel. Donate to our Patreon.
Yeah, you've heard it. The average after dark.
No, that's the $20 level.
At the $20 level, our company artist will start making cheesecake pictures of Iocus for Mike to autograph.
I can try.
I don't.
Putting the beef in beefcake.
I can do Galdrien. He's the only one here who would actually, jump at that.
I don't know. I can see.
I mean, Iocus would be the same.
Iocus being like, just giving the over-the-shoulder, come hither look.
Iocus has the tail to his lips instead of the finger.
Moo.
I hate all of you.
You heard it here. Our artist loves this idea. Please contribute.
She says she hates these ideas, and then randomly will get a group message of something. It's just like, here, I hope you're happy.
I hope you want to see a minotaur braiding the hair of an elf. Braiding the hair of...
We're going to see that. That one's going to get done. It's adorable.
Yeah, I agree.
So, anyway, I bring it up. I gotta say, it's probably my least favorite thing to bring up on the podcast. I know it's part of it, right? You gotta talk about the money situation.
You gotta shill.
Yeah, you gotta shill. I hate it. It's not surpassing editing anytime soon as the worst thing, but it just helps us. When I say we have a ton of ideas, like, we have a ton of ideas.
Execution is a thing, though.
Yeah, execution is always the problem, and so really we do hope you guys can help us out with that. If not, like I said before, the best thing you can do is share us with a friend, leave us a review, tell somebody to just drop by the Facebook page, the Patreon page, the website, wherever. That stuff helps us out immensely.
And if you're not familiar with Patreon, like the $1 donation, if there's enough people who put just $1 in, that goes a long way.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. The costs, especially like hosting costs and things like that, are not big expenses, but they are many.
No, they add up.
There are a ton of tiny little nickel and dime expenses for things. Anyway, I think I've made my point. If you want, you can find us on, let's see, what do we got the list? We got Twitter at Average Party. We got Facebook at the AAP Podcast. We got Patreon at Average Adventuring Party. Average Adventuring Party at Gmail. Our website is something Weebly .the Average Adventuring Party. Just search for us, you'll find it, and I'll have that link actually next time. So that's all I got. Anything you guys want to go over?
Nope.
Nope. All right, well, thanks for joining us, guys. We'll see y'all next time.